Hi, you all. So, I wanted to take a quick second to do a short because I would be remiss if I didn't give thanks to the y'all that is for my walk. My journey has not been easy. I have survived so many things, and a lot of it is because I followed my intuition and the guidance that I've received. I realize that not everyone has my gifts and talents, and so I'm grateful and honored that I get to share some of that with the world. Wanted to take a quick second to deliver an angelic message, an animal spirit message, as well as a black goddess within oracle card. This is just, again, for the collective, just a short, populating my YouTube channel with content that is actually helpful. You can continue to work with whatever deities and gods and goddesses that you choose to. This is just my contribution to the betterment of the energy, frequency, and vibration of this planet. So I went ahead and shuffled off screen. I saged and cleaned the area, and I shouldn't say sage, I smudged the area because I didn't even use sage. I used Palo Santo. And so one of the things that I've learned just in my practice is to decolonize my language, to understand that a lot of the sacred energy, a lot of the sacred knowledge has been capitalized on by people who profited and don't necessarily really care about the origins of the energy or care to know what it is that they're even working with. I am trying my best to not contribute to that aspect of the wellness industry, and so I'm taking my time, again, being a student teacher in all things. So let's start with pulling the first card. We have power. So after I pull each card, I'll go ahead and read their corresponding book. Next up, we have Hyena. And lastly, we have Aja. So, similarly, in the order that the cards were pulled, let's go ahead to see what the angelic message tells us. And I do want to thank the All That Is for this opportunity. Like I said, I cleansed the space. I asked for guidance and protection before I even did this. And this is where we are. So thank you, Great Spirit, for bringing us all together. You go by many names. Thank you for being true with us. Present challenge: accepting your capacity for spiritual leadership by expanding your willingness to love. You have drawn this card to rediscover a deeper capacity for love and compassion. Through implementation of this realization, you will advance into authentic spiritual leadership. You have sought guidance for your own life, and now you are to learn to seek guidance for the lives of others and for the earth. You are reawakening to your spirit's purpose. You are being guided to accept love without judgment and to use compassion freely. And in so doing, to remove any constraints and limiting beliefs you've placed on the power of love to heal, help, change, and awaken grace within all living things. You may be wondering whether you are growing spiritually in the most appropriate ways. You've drawn this card to show you that your prayers have been heard. Angelic message: power. Inner power is divine love, and it is a natural expression of your humanness. When you open your mouth to speak, you anticipate that words will come out and that these words will convey the meaning you intend. When you open your heart to feel love for another person, for animals, or for nature, you feel expansive, deeply connected to others through unlimited and unconditional love. These deeply personal and profound feelings that come through meditation as well as through intimate and direct experiences of loving your partner, your children, or parents, and your friends are the natural state of your humanness and the basis of spiritual leadership. Inner power is resilient. It is expressed as empathy for other living things, and it comes forth as non-judgmental grace. Resilience teaches you to observe life from a different and deeper perspective. thus enabling you to move around the constraints of pain and loss. Empathy teaches you to trust your natural desire to help others and in return to receive love from people, nature, and God. Living in grace allows you to teach others through the example of your own life and to offer nourishment through awareness of divine love in action in your life and on the earth. The spiritual energy of your life is welling up deep inside you from the core of your being, encircling your spine to renew your life. You are in the process of managing this intense, emerging energy so that you will direct it towards awakening the God within. You are being guided to accept your larger role in life and to trust that through the grace of your angelic teachers and the divine, you will be able to recognize your opportunities to balance and stabilize your life, the lives of others, and the earth's living environment. Spiritual opportunity. The guidance awakened by your drawing this card asks you to express spiritual leadership in the ordinary, everyday, and every moment occurrences of your life. Notice the 3 prominent golden rings of expression of power. This flower image alerts you to work with the 3 major aspects of spiritual energy in your own life: resilience, empathy, and grace. This flower offers you a symbolic image of profound importance. You're being guided to recognize that you already have a basis of genuine spiritual understanding and that you will grow in power by using your wisdom in your life in a more direct and uncompromising fashion. Spiritual resilience is the acceptance that all things are not as they seem. You will find renewal for yourself through living empathetically, a kind of living that has at its basis the realization that the energy of divine love lies within every human. Plan. And grace is the unconditional gift of humanity, of the realization that spirit, in all of its forms, in all living things, is indestructible and immortal. The next time you look, this says application, the next time you look into the face of a person or symbolically into the darkness of an experience or circumstance that is difficult for you to love or accept, imagine that you are observing grace emerging in an unrecognizable form to teach you of power and love. Imagine that you have been guided to become a spiritual leader and that you are apprenticed to the purpose from this time forward. If you believe this, in what ways would you see your life differently? Would you take your spiritual practices and the means of living according to these practices a little more seriously? Would you see coincidence as your daily teacher and the search for unconditional love as the unspoken need beneath every argument? Would you acknowledge more readily the bonds that clearly and directly tie you to God and every living thing? Ask yourself these questions in meditation, and without judging the responses, write down what you've discovered. So I want to pause there for 1 second and say, wow, what a message. And this, again, are just the Angelic Messenger cards from Meredith L. Young Sowers and Divine Guidance for Personal Healing and Spiritual Discovery. I have not shared a lot about me awakening to my spiritual gifts because it's deeply personal and it has been painful just coming to some of the realizations about the gifts that are so prophetic and so wonderful, but also come with so much responsibility. So thank you for being here for this message. Thank you, Spirit, for the angelic message that I could share with the collective. I will clean these cards after I'm done. Next up, the Hyena. This one should be interesting because, again, just knowing how the narrative around hyenas have been given to us through different films. I'm curious as to how this plays into the overall message. So I will tell you that out of the 3 decks that I'm sharing with you now, I've had this deck the longest. And again, don't necessarily use them all the time. I will have an opportunity to stabilize the cards and the filming after I find a piece to my ring light. that is somewhere around this house. So I got this deck. I picked up this deck, the Animal Spirit Guide deck, the Wild Unknown, when I was in Denver, Colorado for 420 one year. I went to go see a Snoop Dogg concert at the Red Rocks with my husband and one of our friends, and I picked up this deck while there. That in and of itself was a fun experience. More on that later, or not, but in the meantime, this particular card, the Hyena, it says humor, wit, and sarcasm. The Hyena personality is a jokester and crowd pleaser, but below the surface there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the Hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, charming, witting, fun to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, suspicious. To bring into balance, sobriety. This is a very interesting card, like I said, considering when I bought it, how I bought it, where I bought it, what I was celebrating, working with amethyst. I am a sober being, and again, just knowing some of the work that I've done and continue to do, I think sobriety is just something that is always going to be important and something that I keep top of mind, especially as I get deeper into who I am and my energies and how I can be of service to people. So thank you, Great Spirit. And thank you, animals. And last up, the Black Goddess Within. This is a deck by Giovanni Washington. The art is by Marla Warner. This is my newest deck. I'm really happy. I have worked the least with this deck, but I'm excited to see what it offers. So Aja, let's see what Aja has for us. And Aja says, Yoruba, Nigeria. Aja is the spirit and soul of the forest. In eternal reverie with the woodland flora and fauna, Aja's essence is carried on the invisible contours of the wind. She has a magical ability to hear the secrets of the forest's herbs and flowers, transforming them into miraculous healing potions and poultices. Aja walks barefoot in profound relation and communication with the wisdom of the forest. She is known to the forest, and it is known to her. Sometimes one cannot tell where the forest ends and she begins. So deeply rooted is she that when Aja does reveal herself and her mysteries to you, be ready. Ooh. Aja appears when you are primed for a journey, whether they lead us to deeper introspection, to a more complete understanding of the mysteries, or to clarity about our paths. Journeys often lead to a personal healing. You may be given or shown pieces that will help you complete the puzzle of your authenticity. Other times, Aja appears because you are being called to step into healing on behalf of the collective. Avail yourself to Aja's teachings, and she will show you the way. Immerse yourself in nature, walk barefoot in the grass, hike the cliffs, camp in the forest. The training from Aja's outdoor classroom is unparalleled. As you commune with nature, observe the interconnectedness of life in the forest, and listen for Aja's voice on the wind. Invitation. There is medicine in each of us, and also all around us. Look to herbs, yes, but also look to the healing presences in your own body. Thank you, Aja. And thank you, All That Is, for these wonderfully potent messages. Again, just wanted to share with you all some of the messages and some of the ways in which I fortify myself as someone who is still learning to accept the journey that I have been on, to deepening my self-love, to learning more about myself and how I show up in environments, how I give to the collective, how I give to myself, my family, etc. I have spent so many years pouring into so many people, and it's only recently that I've begun having people pour into me in a way that has been so different than so many other interactions, where it's caused me to like slow down and really reevaluate my relationship to everything from work, money, living, nature, you name it. As mentioned in a previous video, I work with herbs a lot, so I'm not surprised that that came up, because again, I am being called to work with people. I am being called to work with clients, and part of what I can tell you about the healing journey is, for a lot of people, it's not pretty. It's not all kumbaya. It's not, just highlight reels on Instagram. It's deeply personal. So that is the reason why I offer one-to-one 90-minute sessions, because people are dealing with things you couldn't even imagine. And I'm equipped spiritually and in the 3D realm to be able to point people not only to themselves, but to other practitioners and healers and professionals that can also be of service to them. And I take that calling very seriously. I'm grateful that I can deliver this message to you in love. These are just 3 decks that I work with for myself. This is the first time that I'm opening it up, but I did ask that these decks be dedicated to be of service to the collective. There is a deck that I work with personally for myself, but again, just ask that I could be of service in any way, shape, and form without it being a drain to me. And this is what I've come up with. So as you see, I'm being asked to take my gifts, the things that I create with my hands, my healing energy, my voice. I'm being asked to step into leadership. And so I'm grateful that this is the first message that I can share with you, that I'm choosing to share on this channel. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, leave a comment down below on this video. I will decide how frequently I would do this, because I do not intend to abuse divination in any way, shape, or form. But again, just wanted to allow you an opportunity to see just some of the ways in which Spirit has made itself available to myself and others as a means and mode of being here, present, rooted in the now, and being a part of a larger collective where everyone's reality converges, mixes, and blends at some point. And as much as I love being able to worry about myself, the reality is at some point you have to be of service to others. Whether that's working a 9-to-5 job and you're dealing with customer service, whether that's dealing with family members, you have to know how to pour back into yourself so that you're not depleted. Because as long as you are alive, there will be a call for you to even just greet people. None of us live in a vacuum. We can't ignore people and conditions that we do not like for the sake of us just getting by. In real life, you will be tasked with confrontations. You will have to have critical thinking. You will have to have conflict resolution, all sorts of skills and talents. In this world, and this internet is bountiful with people who are compassionate enough, skilled enough to guide you where you may need support, mentor you where you may need support. So please don't ever be afraid to reach out for help. Again, Nicole Long, founder of Earth and Rose Wellness Group, and that is today's read. Take care.